And your executive vice chairman, your CEO, your great leader, they provide that system for you. But you need to come to the table with a vision. You need to have a vision. In the Bible it says if the leader has no vision, the people perish. So you've got to have a big vision, and that's where you come to the table. You got to come in here and say, what's my vision? What's my vision going to be for my family, for my organization? And I sat there 21 years old. I said, man, I need to have a vision. Because I don't know about you, but my entire life I wanted to be somebody, man. My entire life I wanted to do something big. I thought I was going to be in sports, but that didn't work out too well. So I took that competitive edge I had in sports and I brought it into this business, and game over. And now we have a huge, huge vision for our entire organization, and things are good. You know, a couple years later, I sat through a convention like this, and they said there's two things that you really, really need if you want to be successful. You need to have a big dream. You need to have God-sized dreams. Let me ask you a question. What is your big God-sized dream that you have for yourself and for your family? You know, I love my wife, Sandra. I love our 4 beautiful children. And I know that I'll do even more for them than I'll do for myself. I love our team, Pinnacle. I don't know if Pinnacle's in the house right now, but I love our organization. And I know that I'll do more for them than I'll even do for myself. So what is your big, big, big God-sized dream? And let me ask you a serious question. How come you haven't accomplished that yet? The good news is you have what it takes, and that's why you're here. The bad news is it's probably going to take everything you got. So you need to ask yourself a question. When's the last time you gave anything in your life everything you got? I want you to know that this business is good enough for you to actually give your all. We have some amazing leaders in this organization, the founders, all the people that came before us. They're incredible people, people of integrity, people of character, and so you can plant your flag in a business like this. So you need a big, big, big dream, and you know what you need right after that? Is you need a crusade. You need a crusade. Just like World Financial Group's mission statement of no family left behind, what is your big, big, big crusade? Because they say when this business goes from your head to your heart is really when you're going to be successful. So when I was 21 years old, all I wanted was to be successful. I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to have the big house. I wanted to have the nice cars. I wanted to have the beautiful wife and the family and be successful. And luckily we did all that, but guess what? It's way more than that. This business has to be way more than just money. This business has to be way more than just success. So finally, this business went from my head to my heart. I remember I was 29 years old. So let me tell you a little story. I was 29 years old. We recruited this amazing little Filipina lady, and she was so awesome. And we became friends. And she was 59, and I was 29, and she used to do real estate. And I said, hey, we got to have you do this business, and you got to make sure that you become a client. You know, if it makes sense for you, you got to be saving money. You got to protect your family, because you got to practice what you preach. Because you can't tell everybody to go, you know, become a client, how great our products are, if you're not even a client yourself. You can't sell shoes barefoot. And she said, yeah, I understand. She said, but Eric, you don't understand my story. I'm divorced. I don't have that much money. I'm a struggling real estate agent. My 2 daughters, they're already over 18. I don't really need life insurance. And I said, I understand, but guess what? You should be saving money. You should protect your family. Let's just do something small, you know, like $100 a week that you can start saving, you know, $1 million policy. And then because whatever you have on your own life, you're going to be comfortable offering to others. She said, okay, Eric, that makes sense. I'm coachable. So she got $1 million policy with one of our companies. And then we did the underwriting. A couple months later, she got approved. I said, congratulations. You got your policy. Everything's good. And she said, okay, awesome. And then about 6 weeks later, we were doing the training, and I said, hey, we got to get this lady to SMD. We got to help her. And so they started doing home BMPs. I don't know if you know what that means, but bring the meeting to the people. So her and all her team, they were taking us to all these home presentations, and they were feeding me lumpia and pancit and adobo and all this stuff. And man, it was awesome, right? It was great. I loved it, and we were having so much fun. And then I called this lady who's in business with me. She was a marketing director, and she said, Eric, I got bad news. I'm in the hospital. I just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I said, what do you mean? You just got approved just a month ago for $1 million policy. What do you mean you have stage 4 cancer? And I'm young, 29 years old at the time. I said, it's okay, no worries, you're gonna fight this, you're gonna beat this because I know you're a fighter, you're strong, and so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rally your entire team and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna get you to SMD. So that when you're out of the hospital and when you beat this cancer thing, you're gonna be an SMD, right? And she said, okay, let's do it. So she's prospecting all the nurses in the hospital and she's prospecting all the doctors in the hospital, and I'm gathering her huge team of like 6 people, and I go, hey, we gotta do this. We gotta go have more lumpia, more adobo, more panza. Let's go to everybody's houses, right? We just gotta start talking to everybody. And we were out there and we were hustling and we're grinding and we're helping families and we're doing big things. And I had the flag carrier, her flag carrier pushing her up, and we're visiting her at the hospital. Me and her 6 people, we're like, we're gonna get you to SMD. When you get out of the hospital, you're gonna be an SMD. This is how we roll. Because, hey, WFG is not just a business, we're a family. You understand? And so I said, hey, we got to get you to SMD. We got to make this happen. And she said, okay. And so we're gathering everything. We're waking up early. We're going to bed late. We say we only work half days, 12 hours a day, right? The other 12 hours, you go do whatever you want. So we're doing all this. We're getting everything done. And then guess what? We just submitted everything officially for her SMD promotion. And I was so excited. I called her up. Hey, guess what? Great news. When you get out of the hospital, you're going to be an SMD. All the points are done. All the licensed agents are done. It's going to be awesome. When you get out, you're going to be SMD. She said, Eric, thank you, everything you've done for me. But they just gave me 3 days to live. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I never had someone, really close to me pass away. And so 3 days later, she passed away. And a couple days after that, she got her SMD promotion approved. Wow. And it was kind of crazy. It was a pretty crazy experience. And then one of her daughters came to me and she said, Eric, I want you to speak at my mother's funeral. And I said, why would you want me to speak at your mother's funeral? I've only known her for 7 months. And she said, no, she said you were her coach. She said you were her mentor. She said you were her great friend. She said you were the one that gave her hope about life, and we want you to speak at the funeral. I said, oh man, talked to my wife Sandra. I was like, this is it's a big thing for me. And so I came to the funeral, and I was the guest speaker, and in one hand, I had a big old SMD plaque for one of her daughters, and on the other hand, I had $1 million check in my pocket. And it was a crazy experience for me. How much we helped that family, because I seen all her relatives. It's about 200 Filipinos. They were all about yay high, right? And then it was me, right? 6'5", big old football player showing up to the funeral. Everyone's like, who's this guy, right? And I'm the guest speaker, right? And I'm sitting there talking about how important what we do here in our company is. Because all her relatives and all the great people there, they literally showed up with $10 flowers. They showed up with $15 flowers. They've known her for 30 years, and they showed up with $15 flowers, and I showed up with a big old SMD plaque and $1 million tax-free check. Right? So I was just thinking to myself, if we can help families this much, if what we do is this important, and I've only known this lady for 7 months, imagine if I got on a huge crusade to tell everybody what we do. Because I want you guys to know, our business is not accessories, it's a necessity. Okay? Everybody needs what we have. And even though, here's the truth, you ready? People are not going to be excited about talking to you about our business, but once they talk to you about our business, they're going to be glad they did. They're going to be glad they did. So when I was there and I was passing on that SMD promotion to the daughter, and I was passing on that $1 million check to the other daughter, I said, what we do matters. What we do is important. What we do is serious. And when this business goes from your head to your heart, that's when you're going to be successful. Yes, we want you to make millions of dollars. Yes, we want you to change your life forever. But here's the deal. You got to get this business into your heart. What we do matters. And you have what it takes. You know for a fact that you can do this business. You just got to bring your all, and you just got to give your best. So let's truly leave no family left behind. What we do is so important. You have what it takes. There's a reason you're here. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that you have what it takes to be successful, but you got to give your best and you got to give your all. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, we can do this. Turn to your other neighbor and say, we got this. say it in your heart. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.